So I'm gonna be doing a video where I explain my gameplay and exactly what I'm doing and the rogue of my team is doing and exactly the spells that my rogue has to use to win the game and the exact spells that I need to use the game. And I'm also gonna be predicting the other enemy team's gameplay. And I'm gonna edit all the videos together so they look semi-decel. And hopefully it's not too laggy and legendary. So we're gonna be fighting our Resto Shaman Rogue now. And, we're, H-Pal Rogue. So, if their Rogue opens on me, that means my Rogue can cheap shot the Shaman and kidney shot the Rogue. And that means I can get a full rep on our Shaman, which means we can force out their CDs. So, luckily, their Rogue opens on me. So, I'm telling our Rogue that he's got to cheap shot the Shaman so I can get a rep. And I start casting rep, and I get the rep cast off. And then I'm going to Might Stick Shion this so I can force out Cloak. I call out the Cloak before it even happens. So now, I'm going to tell him we can force more cooldowns here because this guy's still in a rep, this guy's still at half health. We're going to force out more cooldowns from the Rogue if we Vendetta and then Blind off that. So, he Vendettas and then he Blinds, so we get Trinket and we get Evasion here. And we get Earthen. And because he Earthens... the Rogue on my team Evasion because he's fucking Down syndrome. Rogue on my team Evasion's at full health even though he doesn't have bleeds on him and he's not even taking damage. Because I'm playing with the biggest carry, awful, trash, brain-dead mongrel to ever live. So I tell him to kite out of the Earthen because Earthen makes them take less damage. So what I want to do is start positioning far away, but then I have Hodge back. I have Hodge back now. I'm going to bot this because it's Vendetta, and then I'm going to run in for my Hodge because I have Hodge and I want to use it on cooldown. So I've got a bit out grounding, but he's holding it right now, so I'm going to Hodge now. And then I'm going to rep this. And since he doesn't have Shadow Step, I'm able to get the full rep. And because I get the rep, he vanishes away. And now, basically, it's just a stalemate because the Rogue's in stealth. So now we're going to reopen up on the Rogue if we can. But we don't get it, so the Rogue's going to reopen back up on me here. Which means we can get a good opener on their team. So he opens up on me again. So I tell him to cheap shot rep again for me, but it's DR'd, so it's only going to be triple DR, so it's really bad. But it doesn't really matter because there's a Fleshcraft on the guy. So now we're back on the Rogue again, and I'm doing unhealable damage on this Peziante. I'm telling my Rogue he needs to Shadow Step kick if he tries to Hex. But he's bad, so of course he doesn't. So I get full Hexed here. And then because of that, I'm asking the Rogue on my team if he has Cloak, but of course I probably he's a 1200 Rogue, brain damage beyond belief, and can't even think for himself. So he does it late, so I end up having to Trinket and Sack, which really sucks. And then I Divine Toll, which puts Glimmer on the Shaman. So now I can't Holy Shock this at all because it will damage the Shaman and break my CC. So I Hodge on the second Healing Surge, and then I Aura Mastery, and he sprints. His sprint removes him from slows to get to me to kick me, but I pre-Aura Mastery to kick. And so we can kill the guy, and I know we're gonna win here, so I start telling the Rogue to use all his cooldowns on his Rogue, or not that he has any cooldowns, because it's awful. And we absolutely get fuck this! Learn to play, soy milk drinkers, learn to play. Freest wins versus the worst players. This Rogue was literally 1500 CR before I played with him, carried him to victory. So now in the next game, we're gonna be fighting Rep Pally Shame. And what they do is these fucking absolute scum, dung beetle, piglet, Peziantes, they're gonna blind me. And since the Holy Pally has holy damage, or the Rep Pally has holy damage, he's able to blind me, pop wings, and do all of his damage in the blind without it breaking because his blind doesn't break the holy damage. So he's able to 100 to 0 me in that, and obviously only the most garbage, trash, moron, scum of the earth ever try to do this. Because obviously it's not a thing where you actually will win most games with. But since Rep Pally is so broken and WoW is so trash, and instead of actually fixing people's classes, they remove the spit macro from the game. Damn you, Blizzard! That they do that instead of they make you be able to die in a blinding light, which should break to any damage. So I'm able to get a full rep here. I fake shear here. I have him bomb that so the Shaman can't heal, but he got Earthen down, so we're not going to do that much pressure, and he did no damage in this kidney shot. So that was a complete waste of a bomb. And then what he should have done if he got this off, he should have Vendetted instantly and tried to do max dam, and then blinded off it to force the Shaman's Trinket, but he doesn't know to do that. And then somehow he gets the luckiest cap totem, pre-cap totem on my fucking Might Stick Shion, which... And then the Rat Pally Holy Avenger Shield, so we're going to get 0 pressure. But if the Rogue on my team had Vendetta and that cap totem didn't hit me, we could have got the Shaman's Trinket here, but... So what he does is he blinds me and then he one-shots me here. It's the most sickening thing in life. Look at that. That's so... It doesn't even... Such sick... Oh my god, it's so sickening. So, now I'm healing my rogue, and he should be fine. I'm gonna wings to top him here. And now, what I'm gonna do is I have my Hodge, so I wish he waited on the kidney, because I have my Hodge. So I think I'm gonna tell my rogue to blind here, maybe. Let's see. Yeah, good. And then I'm gonna go Hodge his trinket into a full rep. So we can win the game right here if he doesn't sank, or get, well, obviously get bubble, because I full Hodged him on his trinket, and the rep is at 30% health. So that means he's gonna bubble here. And my Mystixion, he didn't even need a Mystixion, he wasted that, because I had a full rep, there was no reason to Mystixion. He was already 15% health. He was gonna absolutely hack the bubble without using Mystixion, so the rogue on my team wasted that cooldown for no reason. So now, since I know they don't have bubble, and we just have to force out his trinket and bop, and then we win the game. So now I'm just doing max damage, and I asked my rogue if he has cheap shot, because then he can cheap shot the Shaman here and growth the Paladin, and so he can't sank, and then I can get a full rep off the cheap shot. So right now I'm just doing max damage, trying to keep the guy low, and he's gonna Hodge me soon. So I call out the Hodge before it happens, and then I trinket because I'm gonna keep him offensive, and we're gonna win the game soon. And I sack the Hex here after calling it out. And now I'm pushing in because I'm going to get the rep, so he's going to cheap shot. And then he cheap shots into a Fluffcraft. So fucking awful, man. Cheap shots into a Flashcraft because he's the most trash rogue in game. Oh. And now he's hexing me, but it's a half hex, and I have the Earthquake Ellie on me. So the Earthquake Ellie, this fat, lumpy bitch who looks like Fataphores. You fat, lumpy little vegan. You fat, lumpy Earth Ellie cunt. So the Earth Ellie's on me, so it breaks it. But it doesn't matter because the rogue on my team can still kick the Shaman. You see the rogue? He's right here. He's 3 yards from the Shaman. And the Shaman's spamming Healing Surge. That means he can go and literally kick this guy and we could win. He's 50% health. If he kicks this guy here, it's like a 5-second lockout. We win the game. But he doesn't want to do that either because it's trash. So I start casting rep, but he max ranges it. And I'm telling the rogue, kick. Because I'm telling what the rogue to do in every single global because he's complete trash. And now, I'm max ranging right now because I know, so I already know preemptively what this guy wants to do. I have no trinket, I have no bubble, so he's going to try to blinding light me here on next wings. So he's going to wings here in a second, and he's going to blinding light me. So I'm going to pre-swap beacon to myself in a second, and then I'm going to also pre-aura mastery, pre-wall, because you can't wall in blinding light. So I know if I aura mastery, that's 15% damage reduction, and then I have divine protection, which I can only use during stuns. But since he's killing me in a blinding light, I have to use it before the blinding light hits me. So I have Hodge back, and I want to go use it, but I'm just focusing on living right now. So I have Hodge, so I'm pushing in for it now, and he's gonna I'm telling my rogue to kidney shot. I'm going to pre-bot myself here just in case he Hodges me. And then, because of that, he doesn't Hodge me. And now I'm going to Hodge him at the same time as... I want him to kidney, but he Vendettas first. Waste a global. If the Pally was good at all, he would have sank this instantly. I would have never got this rep. But luckily, the Pally's trash, so I'm able to get this rep on the sank. So he actually did it, but he did it late. So luckily, the Rogue and the Rep Pally are both trash. So I'm able to get this full rep. So, unfortunately, we would have won the game right here, but he has a bop again. Treachery beyond belief. So now we're in, we can definitely die. But the rogue on my team still has Trinket to peel. So he could easily peel this next setup with Disarm for me. But we'll see what happens because he's Down Syndrome, Brain Dead Moron who can't feed himself. So he could easily peel this for me. It's so annoying because it's completely fine on my stream and now it's so laggy on here. So sickening. So, he said, so I know what he's going to do. So I'm going to pre-swap Beacon to myself here because I know he's going to go me. So I have Beacon proc, and now I'm going to pre-Aura Mastery, pre-wall the Blinding Light. So I call it out before it even happens. So he Blinding Lights me here. I have 35% damage reduction. When he pops wings on me and uses Divine Toll, I have 35%. So he uses, look at that. His Divine Toll hit me until half health. That would have just killed me automatically. So I outplay him here. And then the rogue on my team, I go, he's going to Blinding Light me. And the rogue shadow steps into the Blinding Light. So fucking bad. And then, on top of this, on top of shadow stepping into the Blinding Light, I go, we're going to die. I'm going to die. He's going to kill me through it. And the rogue literally has Trinket Disarm this entire time.
Dude, please do it. Please do it. Use it. Use it.
I'm telling him, Trinket Disarm, please use it over and over. And he uses it after, and I die.
You know what I did at the end? I pre-Warmaster, pre-walled his blinding light.
Dude, this stupidity? Oh my god. No one else can do that. No one else would pre-Aura Mastery, pre-wall a blinding light because it's not even possible. Only the absolute best player in the entire game could do that. So let's go to the next game now. We're fighting Mistweaver DH. Can I get a fucking donation? What is this treachery beyond belief? So what we're gonna want to do here is I want my rogue to shadow step sap the DH and then switch the sap on the Mistweaver. So we'll see what he does here. Son of a bitch. So the DH has the eye, and I could hit the eye, but it's way better if he saps the DH and then saps the Mistweaver. So he shadow steps and doesn't sap the. So bad. And the Maestro starts singing you're the worst player in the game. So he actually gets a sap on the Mistweaver, which actually isn't that bad. So the DH on their team pre-blurs. So because I said it, he pre-blurs. Don't kidney. Don't. I tell him to wait. It's blur. Kidney's right into it. Downy. I tell this rogue exactly what to do, and he still can't figure it out. Yeah. Now he hunts him, and I know the guy's gonna ink at me here. So I tell the rogue to evasion, but he doesn't press it. But luckily, it's a half leg sweep here because the DH stunned me in the room, so I'm able to sit this, and then I wings top him here. And now I have Hodge into a full rep soon. So I'm gonna Hodge full rep, and I'm gonna tell him to sit on Kidney until I Hodge. So I'm gonna get a perfectly timed full rep here. Perfectly timed full rep here. Got it. That means we can get all their cooldowns, or a lot of them at least. Big damn. Big damn. Yep. We got both trinkets because of that. He just trinketed a kidney shot with 0.5 seconds left to it. Downy moron. And then the monk also trinketed. So right there, we just got all their cooldowns from my absolute god tier perfectly timed rep. And that was still on DR. So I literally timed it right off DR. It was 1.6 seconds. Rep is a 1.6 second cast. I timed it right off DR. Most insane play. So now what we need to do is I tell him we actually still have rogue blind. So he can blind kidney rep and we can win the game. So I pre-sack the incap after calling it out. I called out pre-sack on incap, so I sack the incap there. So the DH swaps to me because I sacked the incap. So I'm telling the rogue exactly what to do. If he full kidneys the DH here, and then Smoky Bees, and we have pressure, that means the monk has to roll in to save the DH. And that means he can cheap shot the monk for me in the open and get the full rep. But of course the monk on my team is, so the monk tops him before the bomb. So he should have, the rogue on my team should have waited to get pressure before he did that. Like he should have shadow step kicked the monk or something and then kidneyed. If he did that, this game would be beyond over. But instead what he does is he lets the DH get full health, full hots, then he smoke bombs. So that means the monk doesn't have to roll in. Because he didn't get pressure first on the DH, that means the monk doesn't even have to roll in because the DH is going to stay healthy in the Smoky B. So, we'll see what he does. So instead, he fucks the entire setup up. He kidneys. And then he bombs, but he's full health with full hots. So he's going to be okay. That means the monk is sitting back here because he doesn't want to get, cheap shot. And the rogue on my team is Down syndrome beyond belief, not even running at him. So he cheap shots here, and then of course the Maestro fakes the kick here to get the full rep like an absolute god tiered hero. And now I'm still trying to get the rep here, and he blurs. And then I get incapped on this heal on Divine Fave. It's so sickening how many times they can actually stop me. And I'm trying to hold bubble right here. Dude, you know, I'm literally the best Paladin in the game holding bubble like this. Holy shit. And now I have to bubble because it's my Dixion, and I don't have a global to dispel and heal at the same time. So I end up having to bubble there, so on forge. But I tell him I have my Hodge into a full rep, so all the rogue on my team has to do is kidney shot the DH. All he has to do is kidney the DH. So I'm telling him, kidney the DH, you useless fucking rogue. But you see how useless fucking guy is? He has sprint and doesn't even use it. So he finally kidneys. Full on kidneys after 15 seconds, and I have a full Hodge here into a full rep at the same time that the DH is across the map. So the DH should die here, big damn. But I think he's actually going to live here. So I use my Divine Toll for extra dam. And now we're actually in somebody's big trouble, so he should have died there. And my Peasant Rogue, he's going to incap me again here. But I gave him 15% damage reduction before this. And I tell him to evasion just in case. It's just like, just in case. And you see where the DH is. And he evasions at a... Do you see this fucking retard? Evasions at full health for no reason. How is he this awful? Do you see what I actually play with? This is the most garbage player to ever live. So then I say, they still have no trinkets, so we can still win. So all we have to do is get another Hodge rep. So I call out before it even happens, so I know we're in the room now. So I know the DH is going to try to get a double Chaos Nova on us. So I call it out. So I tell him he's going to stun us both. So I tell him not to get double stunned. He actually runs away from it for once. So he would have just got double stunned there. But either way, he doesn't peel anyway, so it doesn't even matter. So I call it out before it even happens. And I pre-bestow faith myself, so I should be okay here. And now he cheap shot. He could have saved this. We could have won the game right here. All he had to do was wait for that cheap shot for 2 seconds. And then cheap shot him when I'm out of the CC, so I could full rep him off the cheap shot. But instead he doesn't. Which means I get leg sweeped. And then I have to bot myself on the leg sweep. And then now the Mistweaver is able to line of sight me, so I can't do it. So now I'm in pretty big trouble, but I have wings back, so I should be fine. Now I'm cutting the DH out, and I'm about to have my Hodge back. So then I'll be able to full Hodge the Mistweaver into a full thing. And now he has, I'm pretty sure my Rogue on my team has blind. Yeah, I tell my Rogue what to do in every situation, he blinds. Now I'm going to Hodge this guy's trinket into a full rep, and he has Kitty DR. So I'm going to tell him, now they have no trinkets again. He shouldn't have trinketed that. He didn't need to trinket that. The DH was already full health, and the DH is blur. He's completely fine. So now we can actually kill 100 to 0. Because the Rogue on my team can kidney, and I can Hodge rep this guy. So I literally tell my Rogue exactly what to do. We need pressure before, because we need to kill 100 to 0. So we get him to 70% health before we do this, and then I get a full rep. And he has Vendetta, so which means we automatically win in the kidney shot. Complete outplay with Molesto. Yet again, I'm the best Paladin to ever live. Best Palidan game. Okay, next game. Next game, we're fighting. We're. Oh my god, it's gonna be so shit trying to edit these. I probably shouldn't even edit. It's probably not even worth to edit these. I don't know. So we're fighting Paladin Warlock now. Can I get a single donation? Holy fuck, man! So now we're fighting Warlock H-Pal. So he's gonna want to sap the H-Pal in the opener because we're gonna go Warlock hard. So he's gonna sap H-Pal here. And I tell him, wait till I'm already running in so I can do extra damage. Because I'm going to do extra damage. I'm going to get a half rep here. So I half rep here while lining the Warlock. And now I Mystiction, and then I Hodge off this. I get a full Mystiction, and then I trinket the Hodge because I know we're going to get extra cooldowns. So we just trinket bop there for literally no reason. He did not need to trinket bop there at all. He could have sat that rep, and then either trinketed blind, or he could have, if he wanted it, he could have trinketed that and not bop. There's no reason to bop right there. And you wings. So we just got 3 cooldowns for 1. So now I know though, since he bopped, they want to go offensive. So he's going to death bolt me here and he almost kills me here. But I pre-wall it. Should be okay. He war stomps me, death bolts me, almost kills me. This game is so awful. And then he Mysticions me and I can't dispel it because he has a UA on me. And I'm able to hold bubble here like an absolute god-tiered hero. I divine fave, top myself like an absolute hero. And now I know we can get Pally's bop here because he's 50% health. So if I didn't call this out, the mentally retarded rogue on my team would have kept going on the Warlock, and we wouldn't have got any CDs. So we get a free bop here, and then I'm able to line of sight the Warlock at the same time, which means we get cooldowns for free, and they don't get any cooldowns from us. And then I'm able to top myself, and now I know we have a full blind now. So since we have a full blind, we're gonna be able to blind the Paladin and stun the Warlock, and we're going to be able to get wall, healthstone, and every single CD from the Warlock. So I tell him to hold kitty for the Warlock, and I start, I fake CS here, and then he's going to Hodge me here, but he should be okay. I'm going to tell the Rogue to cloak just because we're going to win soon. So,
Blind the Paladin, blind the Paladin.
so this blind is actually kind of bad because the lock has no CS and the Paladin's not even in line of sight to heal the Warlock. So he could have just let me rep this guy for free instead of blinding here. So it's pretty bad that he did that. But now he's gonna wall because of this, and he doesn't even sap his own blind because he's a useless bitch, retarded, Down syndrome, brickhead, pinbrain, weasel rogue. So I rep for him because I completely outplay, and because I know I have Hodge coming up in 2 seconds, I know I'm gonna be able to do enough damage to force out the Paladin's bubble here. So I tell him, do enough damage because we're gonna force Paladin's bubble here. Yep. I'm doing unable dam, and I Hodge, and he has to bubble here because, and he sacks. He bubbles and sacks there. So we got all their cooldowns. I still have bubble. Rogue on my team still has Fleshcraft and a bunch of his cooldowns, and I'm pretty sure the Rogue on my team actually still has Vanish. So he can just Vanish, cheap shot for me, and I can get a full rep and we auto win the game.
Okay, so we're next step. And you have set. You still have Vanish, right?
And I ask him so I know.
Okay, so you're gonna Vanish, cheap shot, and
So I tell him exactly what he has to do in every single global.
you're gonna Vanish, and you're gonna shoot your screen, and I think you have to do this. You have kitty bomb in the hand.
So I know, so he could have bombed before this Divine Favor went off, and then he would have been beyond dead. I forgot he even had Kitty Bomb, because I play with rogues who are so awful, they don't even know what cooldowns they have. So if he Kitty Bombed right here, he's already 60% health. And instead he lets him get the heal off, which gives him 15% damage reduction, but it's still okay, because we're still going to win, because we have a full rep and do a full half sap. So he gets the heal off, which is unfortunate, and I get the rep right after that. If he didn't get the heal off, this guy would already be at 50%, and then he's just dead. But it doesn't really matter because the rogue on my team still has Vanish, so he should be able to Vanish, sap off this, and do a full sheep shot, and we should be able to win the game. But what my rogue does on my team, he vanishes, and then he saps while the rep is still up, because he's a fucking retard. So instead of doing damage this entire time, he vanishes right now, while he still has 5 seconds on the rep. So instead of doing damage during that 5 seconds and then vanishing to sap, he doesn't do any damage, which makes us almost not get the kill. So you see he vanishes now while the rep is still on him. And then he saps, which is so fucking bad. And then because of that, and then he should have cheap shot off this. He still has subterfuge up. Look at that. So subterfuge up for 4 seconds. Sap's about to already end. He can cheap shot off this sap and secure us the kill, but he decides not to do that either because he's awful. And then instead he DR cheap shot. He just DR cheap shot and then triple DR cheap shot the Warlock for no reason. But luckily the Paladin doesn't have any more healing and the Maestro does big damage. Big damage! And we're able to kill him anyways.
You managed when he stole my rep for 3 seconds. You could have been.
And then Maestro, it's crazy because I literally tell him exactly what to do. I'm posting this on the end of it because I edited it. Legendary. But if you got through that video, make sure to drop a comment, like, share, and subscribe. The Maestro needs your donations more than ever before. Comment if you like the Maestro's editing skills against all odds. And let me know what stuff you want to see in the future. Fucking legendary, Maestro.